All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to grade 8 coding. It is the 10th of July, and we are looking at loops in Artist, puzzle 5 and 12. And these ones are quite easy and quick to do puzzles, so I'm not concerned that we might have to do that or that we have to stick to this amount of puzzles. If we do more than that, that's also okay. Stumbling to find my words here today. It has been absolutely horribly cold here, rain all over, so I think my body is starting to just shut down, and then my brain doesn't want to work either. Anyway, so if you are watching the recording on YouTube, you are welcome to the lesson as well. If you would like to come and join us in the live lesson, then you can head down to the video description. There you will find links leading to the registration pages. We do request registrations for our lessons just so that we do not have to post our links out on the open and public domain. So we are trying to make sure that our links only go to people that want to be here so that we can avoid having unpleasant situations during lessons, okay? So that being said, if you are here, you've got access to the chat box. You can receive the link, you can ask questions, and so on and so forth. If then you cannot, if you then are here with us, I would just want to ask you, please, to make sure when you do use the chat box that you are pleasant in there. You know, have respect for myself and for your friends. So don't use foul language first, though. And secondly, keep it relevant to what we are actually doing here on the lesson, right? Do not go and chat about other stuff. Before class, I generally don't mind too much, but for during lessons, I would just ask you to please try and stick to the content that is on the screen. That being said, also please do not post any links because I cannot remove them from the chat box. And it's difficult for me to identify whether those links are safe or not. And if you then do post the link, the only way we can get rid of it is to end the entire meeting and to restart it again. Also, your cameras, that's just a practical request. Please keep them off because it blocks the content and makes it a little bit difficult for us to teach them. Right, so now that we have all those things out of the way, I think we can start with our lesson. It is Friday, so let's get going and see how far we get today. Awesome. There we go. So this is a quote that we have from Bill Gates, who is the co-founder of Microsoft, and he says that learning to write programs stretches your mind and helps you think better, creates a way of thinking about things that I think is helpful in all domains. I said this before today, and I'll say it again now. If it's one thing that you learn with me, except for how to code and how to use the systems that we're on, is to understand that coding is a mindset. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of approaching tasks to challenge adversity and to overcome problems. So it is, in essence, a way of applying your mind in a certain manner and acting those things out in that same way. Okay. So that is basically what he's saying here, and it is a statement that I fully agree with. It is a way of thinking that has helped me a lot during many things, not just coding, also with regards to other things in life. Okay, now let's get into the code. So the first one we need to know about is what we call loops. Loops is a sequence of code that repeats itself a set number of times, okay? So for now, we are using these and we are setting them to a predefined number of times, okay? And as we do that, we are actually starting to understand loops in a bit more detail. The reason why it's important for us to understand them now is we now choose whether that repeat block is set to 3 times or 5 times or 8 times, and it is preset and it's done. Later on, we're going to get into something that's known as a conditional loop. And that is a loop that will only repeat if a certain condition has been met or until a certain condition has been met. Okay. So if we don't understand the basic loops properly, we won't be able to use the conditional loops effectively, right? So the next bit of jargon there that you need to know about is something that's known as functions. And functions is a sequence of code that performs a task or calculates a value. So you'll see later on we're going to start working with variables where we enter certain values into certain statements and certain sequences, and you can actually use a function to calculate that value if you want to. But for now, we are mainly using functions to perform tasks. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because we're not coding with them yet. But once we do, you will easily see what I mean. Okay, so today, this is where we're at. Allow me to just jump into our coding screen, and then I can share a link with you. I've been having issues with my chat box, so if you have to wait on the link a little bit, just bear with me, please. I don't know, today it keeps running away from me. Let me just see here, and I need to send it to everyone. Okay, I seem to be okay. If you have had the opportunity to open that up, just type a yes so that I can be sure that everyone is there. And I see the yeses are coming through already. Okay, so let us quickly just review this while you navigate to the link. Now use a loop to make more copies of your sticker. Try changing the numbers in the turn and repeat blocks to make different patterns. So here we have the symbol that you need to remember. And what that says is that this icon means that this level is part of a larger project. Changes will be saved across these levels. Okay. Am I glitching on your side? I'm sorry about that. I'll do my best to try and not move around and to not do strange things. Although my signal seems to be pretty strong, I see a few of you are saying that. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I'll go slow. Okay. So what we have here is we will start to create some. You know what? Can you just give me a second? I think I can actually make my signal a little bit better. Give me 1 minute. I physically have to move something here in my office. I put something that's blocking my router. Just give me 1 second. I'll be back. Okay, I am back. I physically moved something out of the way of my router, so I'm hoping that it is going to clear up my signal just a little bit. I see it seems like the light is flashing more brightly now. So let us hope that it works. Other than that, we have terrible weather. I've said that to you before, and we have had a lot of issues during the day. But okay, let me try and do my best and get this lesson through with the limited connectivity that we have. Right, so this means that we are going to use these things again and again to complete other puzzles as well. So what they want us to do is to draw a sticker, and we did that. And then before we draw the sticker, we want to move to the center of our play area and our canvas. And then we want to draw this sticker a couple of times, right? So we said that we were going to do it 18 times. You can try for 12, then you'll see it doesn't complete the circle, but that's the idea. So what we are actually doing here is just creating different patterns, okay? And you can change the sticker if you'd like to something else. I quite like, where is it? Hidden behind the chat box, I guess. I quite like, there was a goat here earlier. There it is. I'm hovering on it. Okay, I quite like this one. I don't know why, but I like the way that it looks and the feel that it creates. Okay, so you can see you can change the direction and whatever. The only important thing that you need to remember here is when we go lower here, we need to go higher there. And when we go to a lower number here, we need to go to a higher number there. Because when we multiply these two, it has to reach 360 degrees or more. If it does less than 360 degrees, then we're not going to get a full circle. Okay, are you happy with this? Can we continue on to the next puzzle? Yes or no? Am I still very glitchy or is it better? So just type glitch or better. Okay. Okay, cool. That's good news. Awesome. Okay, so let us continue that. Then I don't have to take it slow because I really want to finish this today. Okay, we're on puzzle 6. So what we're going to do now is we are going to add a second sticker right on top of the first one to make an image like the one below. So when they are saying right on top, what they actually mean is above, right? So not within the code, but within the play area. So let me show you. Oh, they are actually just placing one there on top. I don't like that. Anyway, so let us rather do it this way. So this is what I think they're saying we have to do, or we just add one there. I can't see these small pictures here. My eyes are not good enough. So if you can see there what it shows, that's what we're aiming for. I think if I look at the first one, that's what it looks like. Okay. So we've now just added another sticker after the loop so that it's on top. And the reason why they have this here is so that you can understand the layers that we have. So if I take this one, I want to demonstrate the layers just a little bit more. So you can see there now we're dropping these four on top of those. Okay, but if we put this one first, just need to jump to the middle before we do that. Now you see that they are below the other ones. Okay, so this is an on top and below situation, and these are the layers that you have on a canvas. So you need to understand how the layers work. Otherwise, the design aspect of this will become a little bit more difficult for you to accommodate. Okay, just going to take these code out so that we have this code moving forward. So if you're done with it, you just click finish. I just need to run this again. It's giving me a notice here. Oh no, there we go. Are you happy? Can we do puzzle 7? Okay. Edit your code so that you can jump forward between drawing the two stickers in this puzzle. Make sure you have the jump to the middle center position inside of your loop to stay there. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to jump to the center, place the sticker. Then we want to, before we turn right, jump forward. Is that what they want us to do? Jump forward, yes. By 100 pixels. Then we're going to draw this sticker. I'm going to change this one to something like that moose. And now, this is what we get. We get 2 different circles of animals. And if you'd like, you can play with this amount of pixels that you jump forward so that you can actually have them touch there if you don't want the empty spaces, right? If you like the empty spaces, you can increase it as well. And then it's going to look like this. Okay. So slowly, just to see what happens, I'm obviously not going to do all 18. I just want to do 1 or 2. You can just make this smaller again so that we have a better view of what's happening. So we're drawing that picture, we're jumping, drawing the second picture, turning first, then coming back. Okay. So you can see by how the artist is acting, we are following this sequence completely. Okay. Even though it is very similar to having actually another loop here to create that one. We can incorporate it all into a single loop. Right. And this is what I want you to see. They perhaps want you to learn to use 2 different loops, but we've practiced that endlessly. What I would like you to see is how much you can do inside a loop, because sometimes one feels like you have to take the smallest visible pattern in order to loop it. But if that's not the case, then it makes it a lot easier. Okay, you ready? Can we move on? Okay. Awesome. I'm just going to share this link so that I don't get confused. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I hit the wrong keyboard shortcut. Okay. This is probably why I like the goat and the moose, because that's the option they give us here. Okay, so if we have both the stickers on different creatures, so we're basically here just doing what we just did, and we can make it smaller so that we can make sure that they fit on the shade exactly, and I can still see it's a bit different, so we can bring this down perhaps to a 12 and this up to 30 and run it, and there we go. So now we've matched that pattern that they gave us completely, right? If you have a look at that shaded area and you click run with the settings and the code set like this, it's going to look exactly the same as what we had. And that does not stop you from choosing other ones, right? If you want to use an elephant and a giraffe, you can do that. It doesn't matter. There's no set rule here. You can use your creativity. I'm just, for my personality, I need these to line up completely with whatever is underneath that. Otherwise, I feel a bit icky. Okay, easy enough. Can we continue? Okay, let us continue. What happens when you move forward, then move backwards by 100, 200, or 400 pixels somewhere inside the loop? Try using the set pattern block before you start your loop to make a work of art. Okay, so let's start at the beginning and set our pattern. You are welcome to choose anyone. I'm going to use that one because it's the easiest on my eyes, but you're welcome to use anyone. Now we can move forward by a couple of pixels. So we need to decide where. Remember now, if you put it on top at the beginning, before the rest of the code, which is the correct terminology. If we use this before this, we're going to draw a line right there where we stand. Do you see that? It draws that line there. So that is obviously not the ideal place to have it. Where we can have it is after we've jumped forward, but now we're going to be placing all of our animals on the outside of that. So what I would rather do is to draw that line, and then they say to move back, I'd rather just jump back by the same amount of pixels than what we have for the move forward, and then it creates this pattern that we have here. And we can make this move forward a little bit longer, and then the jump back just needs to be longer or backwards. And there you can just see it coming out. So if you really want to play with this, you can go a lot longer. Obviously, keep in mind that this square of ours is only 400 by 400 pixels. So if you are going to move in total more than 200 from the center out, you won't be able to see the ends of it, but that doesn't matter if you don't want to see the ends. Now what I want you to pay attention to is the fact that we have now placed the lines and our stickers on top of that. But if we move this to there, no, that's going to be after a jump forward. That's not a good place to have it. Let's put it there and then put the jump forward back. And we run it. Now you see what happens. We're drawing our lines over our goats. We do it slowly, you'll see it more clearly. We are drawing the lines on top of the goat, but underneath our moose because we're pasting him second. So this is where sequence becomes important, because not only does sequence relate to how things look and work, but it relates to something like this. Again, we can move that until after this, but before we can do that, we have to come back for this. So let's just add that jumping. And now you see that we are drawing that line over both of our characters. There you see, pasting both, we're going back, drawing a line and coming back, then we turn. Okay. The way that I prefer it to be is that one out, this one back there, and this one, and then just, oh, that's the jump back there, so we're fine. So we have the line under the stickers, and then the line sort of just creates a nice visual effect. And again, you can change this to anyone, with the hearts there. That's what it's going to look like. And you can also choose a different animal. So if we're using hearts, then maybe we should use this ghost or octopus at least, and a bunny rabbit. That's more heart orientated. Okay. So you can choose any stickers here, and you can choose any pattern there. And then you can also decide again, now that you've added the line, does it still look good to you or not? If it does not, then you can obviously change the amount of times that you're doing this and the degrees by which you are turning. Does that make sense? Can we move on? Add a third sticker anywhere in the loop that you want. What does it look like now? Change the pattern on your brush for more variety. So they want us to add a third sticker inside the loop anywhere that we want to. Okay, so let's add it there. Then we can see the first one is drawn there where we start. And then from there on out, it draws it over there, because after this jump forward, we're not going back to the center before we draw this. So we're here jumping forward, drawing that sticker, turning right, and then we get to drop this. And we can move that out to the end and see what that looks like. Now it's doing exactly the same as it did here on the top, because it's still running before this is running, but we're not getting that first sticker where we leave off, because it's happening after the jump to that. And we can put him here to say after we've moved forward, let's just make this now. Otherwise, we won't see the sticker. And then we can paste it. And now we have 3 stickers on top of one another. Okay, so I just made this a 150 because if I leave this, where's that sitting? This jump backwards and this jump forwards. If I leave that to a higher number, it's going to paste the stickers outside of the play area and we won't be able to see them. Okay. Are you happy with this? Can we move on? This is really an easy level, but it is just for you to practice the loops, okay? So that you can make sure that you understand it. The best way to truly understand it is to use them. Try changing the repeat loop to run a different number of times. How far do you have to turn to go around in a full circle? Okay. So we can have a 60 degrees 8 times. I'm lying 6 times. Okay. So that is what that looks like. Another one there could be a 20 for 18 times. We've done that now often. So I don't think I need to demonstrate that again. Everyone ready with this? Can we move on and finish this lesson? Good. Now make something on your own. What happens when you make 2 separate circles of different stickers? The idea, try making a design like this. So now we are just going to use this. Let's do something a bit less. Repeat this perhaps 6 times. And we're going to jump there. You can code onto your screen whatever you want to. I'm just showing you almost the example that they gave us, a little bit differently. And I want to actually make this 8 times. And I'm trying to see there, they are using the alien or the alien, yes. That's the zombie. Okay, I'm just going to use the zombie. This cannot be that. It has to be there. Okay. What I actually want to do is this, so that I can try to make this even wider. I want to make a wider space here. So let's do the 6 by 60. Okay. Then what I want to try and do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The empty spaces, so we can do the 6 also. And we can jump to the center. Then we paste a different sticker. I want to see if there's something that will fit into that gap. But before we do this, what I want to do is I want to move forward. It's going to jump to the center after we've moved forward. This is what we, there we go. Okay, so now we've added a line. If you don't want to move forward, you can jump forward so that you've not drawing a line, but this actually looks not too bad. Right, so you can obviously keep this link open and play on this if you want to and see what you can come up with design-wise. There is no right and wrong here. Okay, this is all a free playlist. There's this bonus lesson that you've done before. Okay. Now we are going to practice loops in a different setting. And it says this is going to be great. Help the bee collect all of the nectar. So what you need to pay attention to in this puzzle is that we have this get nectar block, which is similar to the collect block that we had when we were playing with Laurel the Explorer, right? When we were trying to collect gems and things with her. So different than BB-8. When we had BB-8, we had to actually just move over the things. But with this, the only thing we have to do is to just add that block in there. That is not going to make it move over, but going to make it also collect something or to make the bee get something, right? So in the chat box, I think you are now more than comfortable with loops. Tell me, how are we going to solve this? You have to do this in 5 blocks. Any ideas? Move forward times 2. Get nectar. Move forward. And get nectar. Okay, so this code will work, but we are using one more block than what we're supposed to. So how can we shorten this code? Put it in loop, yes. In a repeat, yes. So this is obviously a pattern, right? So you can see that those two are exactly the same. So we're going to drop that in there. And because we are repeating 2 different moves twice, using a repeat block will save us space. Whereas if we were doing only one of these statements 2 times, it doesn't matter whether it's in a repeat or whether it's just 2 of those statements following on top of each other or following one another, right? So now we've used only 5 blocks. Are you happy with this? Can we move on? Okay, if I am quiet, that's because it's your turn. I did the previous lesson, so you can do this one. What do I need to use here to solve this one's problems? Any ideas? Okay, I'm just going to carry on here. So we're going to move forward once. Then we're going to have the same as what we had in the previous puzzle. And this will be our solution for that. Then we want to turn right. Now I can see that this path and this path will have the same solution as that path. Instead of trying to type everything again, we can just drop it into a repeat, right? Loop it, yes. And when we put a loop in another loop, we get what is known as a nested loop. Right, and now we've done this in 7 blocks as opposed to 15. So what do you think? Are you ready for puzzle 4? I'm on it already, so I hope it's a yes. Okay. So here they've just done what we did earlier, and they are asking us what will happen, and we know what the answer is because we just used this code. But I would like to know from you, which one? A, B, C, D is never an option. So A says the bee will move forward and get nectar only one time. B says the bee will get only 2 units of nectar. C says the bee will get all of the nectar. And C is correct. Okay, this is a fun one to do. All right. So all we want to do here is we want to move forward and relate 1, 2, 3 times. And then we want to take all of this and put it into a repeat block. And this is going to happen 4 times. Okay. What's wrong here? Oh, we need to turn right. Sorry about that. Checking something else here. Right, so what we're saying here is move forward and get nectar 3 times for the 3 flowers in that first path. Then we're telling him to turn right at the end of that path. Then we're telling the code to repeat this entire sequence here 4 times because we have 4 sides. Does it make sense to you? Okay. Now we have the zombie. And the zombie has to get to the sunflower, right? Because for some reason this zombie eats sunflower. So it says there, zombie hungry. Get the zombie to the sunflower using the fewest number of blocks possible. So here we need to solve the first problem first, getting the zombie from there to here, which is moving forward 1, 2, 3 times. But we only have one move forward block that we can use. You see, if we place the next one, it gives us an exclamation mark. So the best way is to place it into a repeat. Okay, now that we're here, we just need to go up there, so we're going to turn left, and then we will repeat this 3 times. We need to set that. Okay. Yes, repeat move 4 times 3. There we have that. Go back. So we repeat move 4 times 3. We turn left, and we make everything happen 3 times as well. Right. If you want to, I just want to quickly jump there. It's weekend, so this is not mandatory, right? But if you would like to, go and play on this one. This one is a lot of fun with a few different possibilities. Get this loaded. Right, so obviously today we've done more than what I expected. We've done up to chat box. Let me just see. No. Up to 10. So we've done to, we have done to 7. So that's good. We've actually done what we were supposed to do.